Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. The Chennai Super Kings have now lost 6 out of their 8 matches. They've got a mathematical possibility to qualify, but based on how they've been playing, based on the strategical errors, I don't think they would do. Let's go into this review video. And I've said this in previous videos, but there is some renovation work going on in the neighboring house. So if you hear some background noise, apologies for that. Now, getting into the starting 11 for Mumbai, they almost went with the 11 that I'd suggested. I thought they'd go with the spinner ahead of the extra fast bowler and Ashwini Kumar. And I think they interviewed Paras Mambre in the first innings, and he said Ashwini Kumar was brought in to make sure Bumrah didn't have to bowl in the power play. But to that I say, you've got 4 seamers. I don't get what the point was bringing in Ashwini Kumar. He bowled 2 overs. He's done well in the previous matches he's played, but I think 2 overs, 42 runs today. Hardik Pandya only bowled 2 overs and he's in the purple cap race. Mitchell Santner expectedly bowled very well and he only bowled 3 overs. So if you took those contributions, or if you took that 42 run contribution from bowling side out, then CSK would not have even got the score that they got there, which was under par. So I thought Karan Sharma, who picked 3 wickets against Delhi, yes, wrist spinners don't go too well in this venue. Maybe they thought against Shivam Dube. But as I've alluded to many times, if you keep out of the slots for Shivam Dube, he doesn't use his feet, so he can't struggle no matter which spinner bowls. And we saw that in this match. So I thought they should have played Karan Sharma. And now for CSK, I'd said since Stuart Brevis was available to play, I saw he was standing with full kit. So what I'd said is Ayush Matre, Rachin Ravindra to open, Sheikh Rashid 3. Now, Sheikh Rashid opened, Ayush Matre batted at 3. He did very well in this match. So I think if they're looking to go with that in the future, it is a feasible combination. But Dior Brevis at number 4, I'd said he shouldn't bat earlier than number 4, especially in these conditions with the ball moving around. And I said what happened when the previous year he was playing for Mumbai, they were dismissed for a low score. He was brought in as an impact sub in the power play and was dismissed for a golden duck. But he didn't play today, surprisingly. They went with Jamie Overton as they have been doing, and there were 2 slots that were wasted today, those being Jamie Overton and Vijay Shankar. And as I go along in this review, I'll elaborate on why I thought those are wasted slots. And now for the power play, CSK's power play, I'd said 40 for 1, they got to 48 for 1, a very good power play. After the first 3 overs, people were saying why they're not getting boundaries. But if you talk when understanding the conditions, then you'd have thought that the opposition didn't get a wicket. So CSK had done well there. And Rachin Ravindra, because I think he was on 5 off 8, he tried to swing off Trent Bolt, he was dismissed. Then Ayush Matre at number 3, a confident innings, especially on debut. And 48 for 1, I thought CSK was a very good power play from them. Now thereon, I think there were 2 wickets that fell, one of Sheikh Rashid, where I'd say he's a very good talent. At times, has he got the explosiveness for T20 cricket? That may be in question. And we saw in this match the impetus that he got in his debut. Unfortunately, he couldn't get hit. And I'd said Jadeja, it wasn't advisable for them to send him out number 4. But if they were 16 for 2 and 2.3 overs, then if you send Jadeja out because you don't want to lose more wickets, then fair enough. But you're 57 for 2 in 7.3. In 2.5 overs, you've got to start that aggression phase in the last 10 Mumbai. I'd said 80 for 2 at a maximum. And CSK, they sent Jadeja out. There was a spell of, I think, none for 14 in 4 overs. They got to 70 for 3. And it took them a few overs in that slog phase when they were already behind to get going, and that was what cost them. And despite that, you saw Trent Bolt didn't bowl his last 2 overs well. Ashwini Kumar went for 42 in his 2. They got to 142 for 3 in 16, and I said 190 is a minimum if they play the right combination. They could have got that 42 runs off, the 48 runs of 4, despite Bumrah was there to bowl. And if you're a left-hander, you're sent out. I don't know why they sent him out at 4, but I said he takes 14 balls to go aggressively against spin. And Mitchell Santner is bowling wide in that over that he bowled at the end. and yet he doesn't go for a boundary in that, then I really don't understand why they sent Jadeja out at 4. Because if you're also getting to the team combination, you got Vijay Shankar at number 8. When I'd say Jamie Overton at number 8 is too low for him, since he should not bowl an over, he has got to bat up the order. You're sending him out at 7, he scored an inside edge for 4. And Vijay Shankar, in that case, if you're sending Jadeja out when you've already set a template, that means you are always going to do that. Therefore, there's no place for Vijay Shankar in this side. And yet, he is slotted in the 11 at number 8. Jamie Overton at number 7. So you're depleting your bowling resources, just structuring the batting lineup wrong. Therefore, you're getting an underpass score. I thought tactically it was very poor from CSK. In the past, I've mentioned that in grounds such as the Wankhede, in the Chinnaswamy in Bengaluru, and at the Wanderers in Johannesburg, I've said once you face 30 balls individually, in the latter 10, which is the aggression phase, you've got to play an impactful innings to make it count for your team. And in this case, if you take out the full tosses from Trent Bolt and the 2 overs from Ashwini Kumar, Shivam Dubey, it says 50 off 32. But he should have gone on to get this total closer to par, and he couldn't do so. And Ravindra Jadeja, who did he score those 17 runs against at the end? Trent Bolt. Jadeja is a pace hitter. And it seemed to be part of their plan that even after they'd got a template, they sent Jadeja out, knowing that in 15 balls, you've got to start that aggressive role. And I was quite surprised that even when Santner bowled towards the end, after those 14 balls had passed that I mentioned before, the Jadeja still couldn't get a boundary there. And in that case, they've got to end this experiment of sending him out at 4 in the last 2 years and keep him solely as a pace hitter at the end. Will they do that? I don't know. And on Mumbai, they bowled Deepak Chahar for 4 overs on the trot, which I agreed with. And they can still do that if they play 4 seamers, because Hardik Pandya was in the race for the purple cap, only bowled 2 today. Mitchell Santner only bowled 3 today. So Deepak Chahar can bowl 4, and you've got Bumrah who can still bowl at the end. Trent Bolt, he's not turned up in terms of the wickets column, but at times at the death, he's bowled a few decent overs despite mismatch. He went for runs. Hardik Pandya, I think he should bowl in the power play if they're looking to not bring on Bumrah. I don't understand why you're bringing on a 5th seamer just to do that. So, someone who has been bowling well, if Hardik Pandya can bowl some more overs, maybe even at least 1 in the power play, then this team bring in the extra spinner, I feel would be the correct playing 11 for them. So, apart from that, it's a very good performance from Mumbai. There's nothing to say about Mumbai's batting innings. From the start, it was apparent that they were going to win the match at a canter. And I don't understand why this is where the 2 waste slots, you're bowling Jamie Overton in the power play. I think he's gone at about 13 and over across his overs, and he's not picked up a wicket. He's hit a 6 against the Rajasthan Royals at the end, and then an inside edge 4 here. And you keep bowling him in the power play. I don't understand it. And you've got a scenario where one of Ravichandran Ashwin and Anshul Kamboj won't be able to take part in the match, where Anshul Kamboj has seen what he's done with the new ball. Ashwin, I'd said the economical finger spinner in Wankhede would be the bowler that would be the favourable option. You saw Mitchell Santner in the first innings, Ashwin in this innings, and correctly they played him because Noor Ahmed had said he's got the class to bowl anywhere, but in the Wankhede wrist spinners haven't succeeded as much. He was bowled on towards the end, and Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar had played the sweep shot, so he went to 12 and over. Jadeja, he was economical in his first over, then he went for runs in the next 2. Having said that, he's the second most economical bowler in this innings. And now for the most bizarre inclusion, Matisha Patirana in the 14th over, as if he's going to bowl Yorkers every ball after that and win you the match. And he went for 34 runs in 10 balls. And I thought these strategical errors would cease when Dhoni was captain. And I may or may not have mentioned this already, but 2 years ago in 2023 when they won, I'd said, has Dhoni been strategically at his best in that season? No, but they've won. So if someone hears me saying what I said then they'll disagree with me. But in this case, now it's very apparent that CSK have had a disappointing season. You've seen some of the moves, such as playing Vijay Shankar and Overturn, especially with Jadeja batting at 4, Vijay Shankar has not got a place in the side. Overturn, you're using him correctly, using Patiana incorrectly, and bizarrely making one of Anshu Kamboj and Ashwin sit out. I don't understand that. I think confidence-wise, this team lost its mojo before Dhoni took up captaincy, but the strategical errors still have been present, so I am disappointed with that. Mathematically speaking, they can qualify, but I don't think they are looking like qualifying based on how they are playing. And I'll say this again, you've got to make sure you get the correct combination first. If you're playing Ayush Mature at 3, it's down ball, then fair enough. But Dior Brevis at 4, when you're playing at least 2 wasted overseas slots in Overton and Patiana, you're not using either of those correctly. Vijay Shankar also, you're playing as a wasted slot. You're sending Jadeja at number 4, and you're making 2 of your best bowling options in Ashwin and Kamboj rather than not taking part. You're doing these things. How are you going to beat a loaded team on their home turf? You aren't. We saw it was a one-sided match today. So I'll say again, Dior Brevis has to bat 4. Then you've got, depending on the bowling impacts or batting sub, you can bring in Khalil or Shivam Dube. You've got to go the best bowling attack and your best batting lineup. Will they do that? I don't know. And Mumbai, if they play the extra spinner ahead of Ashwini Kumar, has been good in the previous matches, then I think that they can go. I'm not surprised they've won the last 3 matches, and from 1-1 loss for, I thought it wouldn't be surprising if they went on to qualify because they've got a loaded squad, and it's looking like, because 4 teams have been very poor. KKR says 1-3 lost 4, but they've been poor, and 3 teams, SRH, Rajasthan, and CSK, have been very poor. So there are a lot of teams who are playing well on that 1-5 lost 3 sort of bracket. And it's looking like these 2 of those teams are going to miss out or have a competitive playoffs race this year. Looking forward to see who makes it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share with your friends. Remember, this is my opinion. What's your